It's 2014. It's a midterm election year, and Democrats are worried about that. Because even though Democrats have been pretty good at winning presidential elections in recent years, that success has largely hinged on Democrats getting lots and lots and lots of people to turn out to vote in presidential election years. It is harder to get people to turn out in non-presidential years, and that's a big part of why Republicans did really well in the last midterm elections in 2010, and it's why Republicans think they're going to do well again this year in 2014. See, in general, Democrats need lots of voters to turn out. Republicans need not lots of voters to turn out. So in states where Republicans are in control of state government, we have seen a lot of changes to election laws recently. All changes to make voting harder. And of course, that is a contentious issue anywhere when you mess with people's voting rights. But it is particularly contentious in states where everybody votes. The state of Wisconsin, for example, has a history of everybody voting. They're always one of the top 5 states in the nation for the percentage of people turning out to vote. Apparently in Wisconsin, though, that's now a problem. It is at least something that Republican Governor Scott Walker and the Republican-controlled state legislature thought that they might be able to remedy. After the Republicans got control of state government in 2011, they cut early voting statewide from 3 weeks down to just 2 weeks. They also limited voting on the weekends. Those are both very popular ways of voting, so obviously they've got to go. That same year, Governor Scott Walker signed new Republican legislation to require people to show new documentation in order to vote that people never had to show before in Wisconsin. That law was blocked in the courts. But the Republicans in Wisconsin are still going for it. Last week, Scott Walker and the Republican legislature slashed early voting for a second time, this time cutting early voting after work hours and eliminating weekend voting altogether. That ought to make a dent in Wisconsin having a good voter turnout rate. But now they're going one better. And this one's a doozy. It's at least very high on the creep factor. Scott Walker just signed into law another voting regulation yesterday, this time cutting down on the breathing room you have when you go to register to vote and when you go to vote. It's called Assembly Bill 202 that he signed. It requires polling places to have an election observer within 3 to 8 feet of you when you go to register to vote in Wisconsin. A partisan election observer now has the right to be 3 feet away from you, 36 inches away from you, this close when you are filling out your voter registration information at the polls, and then again when you're announcing your name and address to the poll worker and you get your ballot on election day, 3 feet away when they record your personal information, which you now have to show in order to prove your residency to be able to vote in Wisconsin. 3 feet away while you are exercising a constitutionally enshrined right. As close as 3 feet and no further away from you than 8 feet, according to Scott Walker's new law. And these guys are not the nonpartisan good government poll workers, right? These are the partisan election observers who are there to challenge you if in the process of breathing down your neck from a distance of 36 inches, they see anything that you don't like about you voting. Wisconsin used to be known for civic virtue and civic civility. Now it's just creepy. Go.